The Home Depot & Corp. Is the world's largest home improvement specialty retailer. The idea of a one-stop shopping for the do-it-yourselfer opened in 1979. In the beginning, Home Depot was the industry leader in customer service, which ranged from advice on how to do a particular project to what type of materials were needed. Store associates were required to go through rigorous training and product knowledge. This was to help address the questions that would arise from the customers. Home Depot's customer service policy, whatever it takes, is a key reason for the rigorous training requirements. However, customer service for the Home Depot is on the decline. The CEO of Home Depot, Frank Blake, even offered an apology to the consumers on the MSN Money message board for its poor customer service. Even with the problems in customer service, Home Depot still strives to meet its core values. These include taking care of our people, giving back to our communities, doing the right thing, excellent customer service, creating shareholder value, building strong relationships, entrepreneurial spirit, and respect for all people. Home Depot also has strong corporate governance. A large amount of those serving on the board of directors are independent. The senior leadership team consists of Frank Blake, who is the chairman and CEO, Tim Crow, who is the executive vice president, Carol Tom, who is the CFO and Executive Vice President of Corporate Services, Jack Van Werkom, who is the Executive Vice President of General Counsel and Corporate Secretary, Ricardo Saldivar, who is the President of the Mexico stores, Brad Shaw, who is the Vice President of Corporate Communications and External Affairs, and Annette Verchuren, who is the President of the Canada and Asia stores. The Regional Human Resources Directors are Lane Tommy of the Mid-South region, Lisa Geklovitz of the Gulf region, Beatrice Rodriguez of the Southeast region, Gwinnetta Gossett of the South Atlanta region, Tammy Hampton of the Southwest region, and Daria Perez of the South Florida region. This is the organizational structure of Home Depot.
While researching information about Home Depot, our group was able to obtain an interview with Lane Tone. She is the HR Regional Director for Home Depot for the Mid-South region. She's been with the company for 18 years and was able to provide our group with very valuable information about Home Depot. Lane stated that Home Depot's goal is to become the world's largest retailer. They're doing this through a 3-point strategy: customer service, store appearance, and always being in stock. Home Depot's niche is to provide home improvement products at a reasonable price to their consumers. Throughout our research, we found that Home Depot has low employee morale. Lane stated that Home Depot discourages the use of suggestion boxes, and that Home Depot actually holds a town hall meeting once a month at each store. The general manager of each store actually leads the meeting, and only a handful of employees are allowed to attend. At the end of the meeting, an action plan is devised of any type of opportunities or issues that were brought up in the meeting for the store. Once that is completed, the action plan is placed at each department where the other employees who were unable to attend the meeting can read through. Lane stated that the number one issue that Home Depot has is scheduling issues. Employees feel that they should have more right to say when they're going to work. She also stated that there's 4 managers within the store. There's a merchandising manager, a specialty department manager, a profit and loss manager, and a general manager. For an employee to become a general manager, they need to hold the title of the other 3 managers before they can be promoted to general manager. Lane also stated that Home Depot does not have a time limit on how fast someone or how slow someone can be promoted to management. She stated that she's seen someone promoted in as little as 90 days to management. Lane also stated that Home Depot has a turnover rate of 30%. and that she felt that that was a fairly low turnover rate. However, once our group got this information, we dug in a little bit further, and the information we found on retail turnover rate was actually a 10 to 15%, instead of the 30% that Lane stated was a low employee turnover rate. Our group also found some information over Home Depot regarding lawsuits. The first lawsuit that we found had to deal with of former assistant managers who were alleging that Home Depot did not compensate them for overtime wages. They also alleged that Home Depot was either firing or reducing the hours of managers who refused to work over an 11-hour shift. Another lawsuit that Home Depot was involved in was that employees actually alleged that Home Depot was discriminating against gender, race, and national origin. The findings on this lawsuit was for Home Depot to work with the EEOC to provide a better working environment for the employees. Throughout our research, we have primarily looked for anything that had to do with low employee morale. Whenever we looked into how many managers per store or how many managers were over a certain number of employees, we were actually unable to find this information. Our group got in contact with Lane Combs' office again and was able to get the information from Angela Arnett, which was her administrative assistant. Angela stated that there is actually not a set number of managers within the store, and that each store is set up individually to service the community that they're in. This concerns me. If you do not have enough leadership per employee, then employees could become lost, and this can actually cause a decrease in loyalty and productivity for the company.
Once we decided that we wanted to study Home Depot for our research paper, we came up with a list of questions to ask local managers. We originally wanted to know what the relationship was between the local stores and their corporate office. So, we each decided to contact managers from our local stores. I was in Boise, Idaho, Kara was in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and Michelle was in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Michelle actually called and confirmed an interview time with the manager from her local store. She drove 20 minutes in order to meet with the manager, and she was told that the manager was not there. In my part of the country, we call that being stood up. The manager that was on duty said he didn't have time to talk to her. So basically, Michelle was blown off by the local stores. Kara in Fort Smith called a couple times and decided to drop off the list of questions at a confirmed time with the local manager. When she got there, she went up to the customer service desk and said that she needed to speak to the manager, and the girl at the desk called back to the manager and said, "Some girl with a weird manila envelope is here." Kara had brought her questions in a manila envelope. And the girl kind of made a face and told the manager that some girl had some weird manila envelope. The manager came out and shook Kara's hand and took the questions. And then later, when she came back, she was told that he could not answer any of the questions, that everything would have to go through corporate. So, she was given a corporate number to call. She called the number and got nowhere with that number. It was just a voice message that cycled her through and led her to no one. I, in Boise, Idaho, called and asked for the manager, and the manager wasn't there, but I was told that they didn't think the manager would be able to talk to me. So I I called again a couple times. The manager was never there. When I finally did get in contact with the manager, I was told that I could not talk to her. She could not interview me as a student. All interviews would have to go through corporate. So instead of calling the number, I actually tried to email corporate at the address listed on their corporate website for media and students. And I have yet to receive a reply. And that was several weeks ago. So, our efforts to try and contact managers of the local stores got us nowhere, and it also showed us that there is a problem with customer service, which we already knew from looking at all the lawsuits, but this was just another confirmation that there is a problem with there's a problem with customer service, and we determined based on our research with the lawsuits that are in progress and that have happened, and based on the Home Depot employees that we know, and based on our interview with Lane Tome, that the poor customer service stems from low employee morale. So low employee morale. Now we are going to spend the rest of our time on this research project researching a solution for Home Depot's poor customer service problem due to low employee morale. So our plan is to, of course, do online research, find some articles, but we mainly want to research a competitor of Home Depot and find out, what is it that they do that Home Depot doesn't do if the competitor doesn't have the same problems as Home Depot. We want to talk about their structure. We want to find out what it is. We want to attempt to contact them the same way we've attempted to contact Home Depot. We want to see the result of that. And we want to determine why they are not having the same problems as Home Depot and the reasoning behind their decisions that have led to the success of keeping them away from those same problems. So that is our plan. We're going to conduct interviews with a competitor and research other companies that have possibly had this problem and overcame it and see what they did to overcome it. And we're going to probably try to contact Home Depot some more and maybe talk to someone besides Lane. Maybe we can get another interview, because as of right now, Lane has been our only interview that we've been able to secure. So that is our plan going forward. We appreciate you taking the time. The end.